The prayer, the first, the refuge prayer, we're reciting 3 times with very slow. When you say Namo Guru Be, at the time you have to remember all this lineage Lama, and then blessing to you, or you respect. And then Namo Buddhaya, so you have to remember all this Buddha and Buddha's quality and respecting it. And then when you say Namo Dharmaya, you have to remember all this quality of Dharma, and then you admiring or respecting it. And then Namo Samgaya, so you have to remember all this quality of Sanghas, and then you admiring and respect it and take blessing. So reciting first time, we the bowing down, reciting second time, and third time take the blessing. So that's, you can think then it has meaningful to reciting it also 3 times. And then the refuge part, the 1 time in English, 2 times in Tibetan we're doing it. That's the same meaning, 3 times reciting. So first 2 is refuge, and the second 2 is setting up your motivation with bodhicitta. So usually, and now traditionally, whenever lamas give teaching, always at the beginning, 30 minutes or 1 hour, takes time for explanation of setting up motivation. So we are not taking separate time for setting up motivation or talks on that, but when we recite it, so may I achieve Buddhahood for sake of all beings, by this virtue I'm listening, or by this virtue I'm teaching, or by this virtue I'm practicing, by this virtue I'm reflecting or lamrim. May these virtues let me achieve Buddhahood for the sake of all beings. That's the main intention. We need to correct it, set it up. So therefore, when we say it, again, try to think the meaning. Then we don't need to take a separate part of, that set of intention, because the intention is drive your virtue where it goes. So your intention makes your virtue connected with the result. So there are no set of intentions. If there are bad intentions, then your virtue goes ripening with the wrong result, not the right result. So therefore, what we're learning here is enlightenment, stage of enlightenment. So therefore, every single virtue we collected here is dedicated to enlightenment for sake of other beings. Right? That is important. If your virtue is, okay, I have to be a scholar, I have to learn more, I have to be professional, I have to write more books, I have to do this and that, so I have to become more famous, that's all motivation is totally wrong. Right? So that motivation is not brings you the good result. That motivation is not help to connect your virtue to enlightenment. So even I'm learning for cures my illness. This is not good intention either. So therefore, intention should be for doing for every single beings. That include you, include your illness, include your relative. Everything is there. It's a bigger and wise way to dedicate it, and wise way to set it up intention. This is important things, right? And then one other thing I just let you know that if you are new here, I taught in a long time. When we do Buddhist practice or study, we have 3 things to know. One thing is your aim should be like a long-term goal, and your targeting is long-term goal. That long can be achieved after 3 years. So that long, right? Not just this life. So most of our goal, especially like a Buddhahood, kind of impossible in this life. At least you have a very great virtue in the previous life. That's the different issue. But in general, it's very kind of impossible to achieving this lifetime, that Buddhahood. So therefore, we dedicate, my aim, my goal will be achieved after 3 years. after 3 years. That you have to think long goal, long-term goal, right? That's always keep in your mind. And then for that, how many things you need to do, develop, how many paths you need to develop. They're huge. In general, we say 5 paths, 10 bhumis. It counts like a 10 and 5. It's like, but it takes a long time to achieve each. Even like a small type of virtues, how much difficult for us to develop it. And then bodhicitta is way far from us. So point of that, that a lot of path and bhumis, I have to achieve it one by one to achieve enlightenment. So you have to see this all entire path, and then difficulty or easier, whatever, with all the entire path, you have to like reflect in your minds. That Lamrim helps you. Lamrim helps you, this all path, you can easily reflect it in your mind. Okay, this all path, I have to complete it. So you have to be more like open-minded, or here's accept also. Accept. Recept. We say yigake means your mind should be more brighter and wide, brave. You might make your mind brave and wider, right? Because that huge path I have to achieve. If you don't make your mind is like a wider on that, open for that, it easily discourages you. Very easily discourages you. Even one single path, very simple one, very difficult. And this part may be more very difficult. I cannot do it. That's easily discouragement to you. Therefore, you should open mind for this all entire path. Okay, I have to deal with it. So that's the second thing to keep in your mind. That's giving example. I usually like if you have to graduate it like from your university, how long you have to go that graduated, right? From kindergarten to how many years? Like it's 10, 12, 13 years takes to getting that the certificate, right? So it's long, that long. And then that long, you have to deal with a lot of things, right? Like from beginning from your like financial food things, financial things, all this you need it perfectly. And then like you need a perfect many time for learning all things. You know that like receiving that certificate, like graduating, how many things you have to go through by difficulty, easy, suffering, non-suffering, but you are ready for that, isn't it? Same things that will make your mind big. You already know, okay, achieving that graduation, I have to go through 10 years continuous, right? 5-year continuous practice, and within 5 year or 10 year, I'm gonna have a lot of obstacles, this and that. But it doesn't matter, whatever, I have to go. That's your preparing, right? Same, that your goal is enlightenment, which is achieving after 3 years. And then the entire path, large, huge path, you have to open in the mind for accepting these all things and doing. The one important thing, third thing is, yes, the goal is after 3 years, and path is huge. But can I cover all this in this lifetime? No. So therefore, your mind should be calm. That's a kong-söle. In Tibetan words, the kong-söle means you have to be calm and go one by one. So if you catch the one, you do something. Otherwise, if you like it too much exciting or expecting, then you're nothing catching up. You're nothing catching up. You will go like a small things here, rub here, because you feel I have to catch up everything, right? And you will feel, okay, small thing here, small thing here, small thing here. And at the end, all this path is broken. Nothing brings you any result, because no complete path, no complete cause and condition, right? So therefore, have to go slow. Let's say, for example, in Lamrim, the first practice is Guru devotion. even your entire life to take like achieve the Guru devotion practice, doesn't matter. You did something, right? So that next life, you don't have to too much effort put on that. So other things, you have other things to develop. So that things you need to know. We cannot cover in this lifetime all single things, but we can catch up as much as we can. So that depends on how much you dedicate it. So these three things I like to share at the beginning. Important things, right? Track it should be long-term goal, and then have to know this in your mind. Have to understand this all entire path and open-minded for doing it, and then when you do it, do step by step, right? Even you know what that after 10th step, you know the 10th step, how beautiful it. Don't jump on that, right? It's beautiful, but I have to go this first step, but I cannot jump there, right? So therefore, step by step, and then your everything stay with the step by step. That makes you more calm mind, and then complete it. So there's the three things important. So this is three things we have to be keeping in our mind whatever we do the Buddhist practice. Okay. So and then today our topic is the origin of suffering, but here 20 minutes. Again, I'm giving you time for have question on previous suffering things. Before we started, so you have time 20 minutes to ask question about suffering things. Sean.
Yes,
they can do.
So I had a question about the suffering of change.
Changing suffering. Okay, let me know the Tibetan page number.
227.
27.
227. 227.
Okay, 227.
What's the English page?
The English page number, that's the beginning of chapter 19, so page 289.
Can you turn volume a little bit up?
Is that on the speaker?
They're on the speaker. Okay, Sean continues talks with the volume a little bit up, need to up it.
So there's just the one paragraph talking about the suffering of change, which is very clear, I think. It says, pleasant feelings experienced by beings in cyclic existence are like the pleasure felt when cool water is applied to an inflamed boil or carbuncle. As the temporary feeling fades, the pain reasserts itself. This is called the suffering of change and includes not only the feeling itself, but also the main mind and other mental processes that are similar to it, as well as the contaminated objects which when perceived, give rise to that feeling. So the suffering of change, the description of the pleasant feeling going away and then the pain reasserting itself, that's very clear. But what my question is about, there's a note there, note number 500, where it says that it includes the main mind and other mental processes that are similar to it. And then in the note 500, there are 5 things that are mentioned. One is the base. So I'll read the entire note. The note says, in the context...
Oh, it is a note, right? Okay. Then
yes.
When it comes here, anyhow. The notes comes from where? Which line? Which note? Which line's note?
It comes from, it's almost the last line in that paragraph. It is the last line in that paragraph is where the note is, where it says, are similar to it.
Page 290 on the top, yes.
Yes, in the English it's page 290 at the top.
Okay. You said 227 as Tibetan, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm. It's just after the talks about suffering or suffering, right?
No, before.
Before that, okay.
Yeah.
Then okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah,
So now what?
About the phrase similar to it.
Mm-hmm.
The note in English, it says, in the context of mental processes, the phrase similar to it refers to the 5 ways in which mental processes are similar to the main mind, which they accompany. And then the 5 mentioned are base, observed object, aspect, time, and substantial entity. So I'm just not clear on what's meant by those 5.
Before we need to know 5, we should take one single example with what is main mind and one individual secondary mind, and then stay with that, explain these 5 things, then you understand. In general, just explain 5 things, not understand. So here the main mind is, the secondary mind is feeling, right?
Right.
Feeling, yeah. Okay, main mind is here. It's here. Okay, I can take example like a main mind is changing suffering, or doesn't matter, not necessarily changing suffering. I can take example like a main mind is mental consciousness, and secondary mind is feeling and faith, right? Maybe better we understand with I consciousness, because it's example easy, let us easy understand. I consciousness is the main mind, and then the aspiration or feeling is secondary mind, which is associated with the I consciousness, right? Let's say then I consciousness see Buddha's image, and then you're feeling bliss, right? And then your faith grows. That faith is also the secondary mind. At the same time, the faith and feelings there. Those faith and feelings should be same observational object, which is with the main mind. The main mind is I consciousness seeing Buddha image. Same, that feeling and faith should be observed in the Buddha. The same, one kind of same, right?
Right.
Then aspiration, here the I consciousness, the Buddha image is reflected on I consciousness, same way, that feeling and the faith, also that kind of aspect, the Buddha image aspect of Buddha image. That's telling that you have to know every consciousness, every single consciousness which is functioning, have to have like an observation object and aspect, right? The I consciousness seeing Buddha, the observation object is Buddha statue or whatever, right? And then that aspect is, which is reflect on your I consciousness, the Buddha image is aspect. Seeing as Buddha, and then reflected Buddha. The I consciousness see blue color, then that I aspect should be blue. You understand?
Yes. So
yeah, same. The I consciousness is observing on Buddha, the aspect should be Buddha image. So that observation object and like an aspect. Same that faith, which is following that I consciousness, which is associated with the I consciousness, aspect as the same as the Buddha image. Right?
Okay.
That's the same observation object, then same aspect, and then same basics. Same basis is like the both are like based on like eye faculties, the eye faculties, right? The same basis, and then same substance. That's it. Is there any same substance?
Yeah. Substantial entity, it says here. Yeah.
Substantial. Okay. Same substance is the same substance. that's the tenet, little way to different, like a lower tenet and upper tenet, different explanation. Whatever, I will take one easy example one. So same like a substance means when eye consciousness absorbed in a Buddha, only one substance picking up, not other things. Same that which is associated with the eye consciousness, faith and feeling, also same, like picking up the one substance either each time, not every substance. That's more, I think, easy to understand. And then what left over there? Okay, same time, right? Yeah. Okay, same time, yeah. The same time is like the faith and feeling should have a same aspect, observation on Buddha at the same time when eye consciousness observing on Buddha. This is the 5 things. When, that's how telling us that main mind and secondary minds is connections. How is every single secondary mind is not connection with the main mind, right? Like say disliking mind. This is one kind of secondary, like a unfaith. The faith and what the opposite of faith?
Doubt.
No faith. Okay. No faith, right? So no faith is one kind of secondary mind. When when faith is associated with the eye consciousness at the moment or mental consciousness at the moment, no faith, the secondary mind cannot associate with that main consciousness, right? So because different aspect, different like a substance, and then you mainly hear different aspect and different substance. Could be different, like same observation object, but the don't like it, no liking mind is, no faith is different than faith. It's different, definitely it's different aspect. So that we not say, okay, that not faithing mind is not associated with that mind because that aspect are not same, substance are not same, even other are same. But faith is associated because all 5 are same. And that's how we are describing same or not same. And when I read that mental afflictions, the part of mental affliction in Lamrim, I feel that sometime in the future we need to take separate time to talk about that secondary mind and main mind, because it cannot cover everything here. Right? So that's how I feel it.
Yeah, let's recommend it later in the chapter to study the 5 aggregates.
Yeah, special that the mental things, mental affliction things, yeah.
Yeah. So what is the difference between the substantial entity and the observed object?
It's not different what the object is. It's different that how it's functioning. Substance means it's, as I said, picking up each substance at the time, not every single, like that's like saying, right? Observing in Buddha image it's not really only that not picking up the substance. It's more okay. What is definition of observation object? We need to go more and more again. So the observation object, we say observation object. When we okay, the observation object, its giving definition is what is the dondo? It's like a wrong thought. Okay, so I'm using my English. I don't know, you understand now. Because in Tibetan say dondo chobar chave shi, right? Dondo means like a wrong thought or like a wrong view is dondok. Wrong view is dondok. And chobar means it's clear or cut. Shi is basics. The basics of cutting or clearing wrong view. That's the observation object, definition of observation object. So the iPad could be observation object. I observe in the iPad and I'm thinking it's iPad or computer. analyzing. And finally, I clarified it is iPad. Without basics, I cannot analyze anything, right? Then there's some kind of basis needed to analyze and then understanding clearly. So that observation object definition give like that. So first you have a doubt on that observation object, then you clearing and clearing and clearing. Finally, you clear it, very clear it. What is this? So that's one thing. And then say this is iPad. It is impermanent or permanent. I'm analyzing again. Basis is iPad. Now I'm thinking impermanent or permanent. And then I'll keep thinking, and finally I found it is impermanent. So this is the basis for clearing wrong view. This is basis for clearing wrong thought. So every observation should be that like this. And another way tell you it's easier that observation also should be the basics of analyzing right or wrong. Does it better understand?
That's clear for the observation object, but then what? So how about substantial?
So therefore, now looking at the Buddha, observing the Buddha, and clearing have more faith here. Observing Buddha, thinking how quality Buddha could have a quality, and then clearing here more faith. So that comes. That the secondary mind faith comes because when we observe it and then thinking, it's like we have a good quality or not good quality. So this example, you can bring every single observation object.
So how do we define substantial entity?
Substantial entity is not really analyzing that way. Just, okay, how say it? One is analyzing and finding right and wrong. One is just look at that.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and then so all
this
of
is my English.
I understand. So all
okay.
of these five then, this is all true also with the suffering of pain and the suffering of conditionality. That we always have these five things that are similar to the state of minds that we have.
Yeah, right. And then these five similar things, I don't think we can clearly understand today. With giving with the it takes time for giving with the example. Therefore, yeah, I feel it to take separate time, separate class sometime in the future, and yes, then we can learn more better. The roughly explanation that yeah.
Okay,
so
that does help. Thank you.
Yeah, it's mainly saying the which mind is which secondary mind is connected with the which main mind, and how we know it's connected. Then five things, because every feeling is not connected with the I consciousness. Every feeling is not connected with the every time with the I consciousness and air consciousness, and not individual like this, right? Feeling is here in the secondary mind, and then sometimes it goes with the mental consciousness, and sometimes it goes with the air consciousness. Sometimes it goes with the feeling consciousness, the touching consciousness, right? The body consciousness. So then we know, okay, right now at the moment, feeling is associating with the mental consciousness. How I know? There are five things. Or right now, a feeling consciousness is associating with the I consciousness. How I know? Because same aspect, same observation object, same time. That's the things how we described.
Right, so it's showing the connectedness between
connectedness,
all the
yes,
kinds
yes,
of minds.
yes,
okay.
Yeah.
Can the main mind be through a different consciousness, but in a
the main mind is simple here. Only six main mind there. Only six main mind. Five sense consciousness and mental consciousness.
Right.
For only six mind is this all the this the only one main mind, and there are more secondary mind. A lot of secondary mind there. Okay.
Is the main mind akin to direct perception? I mean, is it that kind of sense that you're directly perceiving something not mediated?
Not necessary. Like a mental consciousness is not direct perceptible.
Okay.
Your five senses are yes. Okay, so now we are not more taking that kind of question here. One more taking question for suffering, if you have it. So if you don't have, then I'm going to continue the origin of suffering.
Geshe, I have a question.
Okay.
Yeah, on page, in English, page 287, in Tibetan that would be 226.
226, okay.
Yeah. It talks about, so right before the quote from engaging in bodhisattva deeds,
okay.
right before that,
Mm-hmm.
it says the three types of merit refers either to physical, verbal, and mental virtue, or to the three foundations from which merit arises, generosity, and so on. Could you talk about the three foundations from which merit arises? What, three foundation? Yes, what are those?
Okay. Okay, I remember only one now. It's the nirvana. It's the one of. Say it, please.
Would it be generosity, ethics, and patience?
No. This is like a part of merit. But the foundation is one foundation is I remember that nirvana is the one foundation to the part of rising or accumulating merit. Yeah, it talks in Abhidhamma Kosha, 4th chapter. Abhidhamma Kosha, 4th chapter, it talks very clearly with the detail. But I remember only one right now. Okay, I apologize for that.
No problem.
Okay, so if you want to read, you look at the Abhidhamma Kosha, 4th chapter. The 4th chapter, not the very beginning, it's like a more in the middle. Okay, so now let's start with the origin of suffering. But if you are a practitioner, now you have to ready for discussing all this samsaric pleasure because of things suffering, right? That's our time right now. Now you are looking how I can free from that suffering. But right now we don't have that like a strong aspiration. Maybe you have it, I don't know. So because it's depends on how much you reflect on suffering. So that's the time now. And then now people, okay, now I found what I have an illness. And now what is the cause of that illness? Okay, so that's the timing, right? I found all this suffering is like life is natural suffering. This place is natural suffering. Every single samsaric thing is natural suffering. So there are nothing that I can escape from suffering. Some pleasure even is changed to suffering. Nothing that. Even I try to born in like a higher realms, still it's a lot of suffering there. Of course the lower realms. There are nothing place there I can escape from suffering. So then it's also possible that I can, yes, I do. I see that it's possible that I can escape from suffering. And then dealing with this samsaric place and this body and mind never helped me to, the freeing from suffering. So that kind of feeling we needed until all the way, like reflecting. You have to see every single pleasure, deep way is suffering there. It's in front, it's kind of pleasure there, but deep way it's suffering there. And behind every single pleasure, in behind they are suffering and suffering and suffering. Then now it's best time for me to escape it, right? By staying with what my emotion, staying with like a worldly activities, staying with like a worldly stuff, whatever philosophy, whatever. It's not really helped me to freeing from their suffering, but I have to do something else. So that kind of feeling. Now, after that, you're looking what kind of origin of suffering. This is time, okay? So here, and it automatically comes, isn't it? If you really strongly think, discussing on that all samsaric place and things, then you will really have intent to liberate from that. Then you automatically you're looking how I can. So what is the cause for suffering? So therefore, how I can, that your mind more intend to understand the path. The Buddha said, yes, that is good. Intend to liberation strongly, then how I can liberate, that means you're more wanting to know path, but Buddha said, there are another path, good path there, to understand what the origin of suffering. Is that better before you go to jump on the path, right? So, and then because if you do not understand the origin of suffering, then even you engage the path, then for what? You don't know. Why you engage path? Why you engage the accumulation path? Why you engage the renunciation path? Why you engage the emptiness path? Why? And I don't know, right? Therefore, understanding origin of suffering, then you will know, okay, I'm engaged this path because this is that I have to abandon. This is that I have to eliminate it. So you will better understand. There are big reasons to talk next is origin of suffering. Okay, and then here reflection on the outline, few outline. I will read it. The reflection of the process of circle existence in terms of its origin, how the affliction arises, and part of that, how the affliction arises that we need to know. But it's not directly explained to you, because without understanding what is affliction, then you will not understand how it arises. Therefore, it takes like 4 different outline there. Identifying the afflictions, important, and then the order in which the affliction arises, and the cause of the afflictions, the fault of the afflictions. So the cause of the afflictions and fault of the afflictions also the part of understand that how the affliction arises, right? If you do not understand the cause of the afflictions, then you don't know how it goes, how it's arising. So therefore, it's like that's outline, that's PowerPoint, how the affliction arises, explained by 4 things. And then next, how you, thereby accumulate karma. Because this is another origin of suffering. So today I'm covering that first one, okay, number A, and then it has 4 different type subdivisions. Okay, and then briefly you go back to the page 295. The last line. It says, reflect in this way on the general and the specific suffering of the 5 or 6 type of beings. Then when you have become disgusted with circular existence, you will wonder what about it causes. What causes circular existence? This line is connecting previous subject and the present subject, right? It's connecting it. It's making it related it. So therefore, once you see it, each has a related from previous, then again you know that there's nothing to escape it, right? So everything is related. So, okay, that should know. This is the part of saying, we Tibetan words is Tamjawa. Tamjawa means make connected. The previous subject and present subject. Each subject has these things. Okay, now go back page 298. First we have to talk now how the affliction arises. Karma and the afflictions are both necessary as cause for the what called? Creation of circular existence. But the afflictions are primary That's important to know. For just as a seed without moisture, soil extra will not produce a fruit, so in the absence of reflections. Okay. So true cause here said, right? The true cause of what? What cause? I mean, true cause of what?
Creation of some separate existence.
Okay, it's simple. A true cause talks, right?
Cyclic
a true cause of what? Sorry?
Cyclic existence.
Yeah, cyclic existence or suffering. Right? It's talking about the true cause of suffering. Okay. Sometimes it's good to go back like this, then you see, understand. Okay. So that's true cause of suffering or true cause of circular existence. The true cause, how it's caused. The one is called, like say, governing cause, and another one is we call conditional cause. The mental affliction is conditional cause, and then karma is governing cause. The karma owes this suffering. Karma, like governing, means like some kind of taking care of it, isn't it? So that karma, I have a suffering right now. It directly comes from karma. I have a feeling joy right now. It directly comes from karma. That's what we call governing cause. Another example here, eye faculty is governing cause for eye consciousness. You see that governing means now, right? That the eyeball is not the eye faculty, right? This ball is not the eye faculty. Eye faculty is inside there. It's governing cause for eye consciousness. Same way, the karma is governing cause of suffering and like a temporary pressure of this circular existence. And then mental affliction we call conditional cause. Conditional cause. So this too is caused, that's generally knows. Sometimes, the karma, we also think that not only the governing cause, better way to understand is substantial cause of your the any result here, feeling good or suffering, whatever. That's the substantial cause is karma, right?
Substantial cause and governing cause the same thing?
Not the same thing, but you can understand karma is also substantial cause, governing cause and also substantial cause. But these two is not same, okay? Mental affliction is conditional cause, but as Lama Tsongkhapa explained here, mental affliction is primary, but the affliction is the primary cause. It's the main within these two, karma and mental afflictions. Mental affliction is the main one, main one. How we can understand that it's the main one? The one thing is, without mental afflictions, you will not create new karma. Without mental afflictions, no created new karma. Okay? That's one thing we understand. Do you understand how it's not? Without mental afflictions, no new karma creatings. You understand, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
You
So, without mental afflictions, they are not creating new karma. Never happen, new karma. Yes, ignorance, mental afflictions, and all these other root mental afflictions, all the secondary mental afflictions, which is Lama Tsongkhapa explained continues. So, yes, these are the one reason. Without mental afflictions, no accumulate new karma.
But without afflictions, even old karma.
That's what I'm going to say it. All karma, even if you do not have a mental affliction, your old karma is not functioning. It not produce any result. Not produce any result. Even you have hold the old karma. Without mental affliction, not produce any karma.
What is the mind stream? What is the definition of the mind stream? Like an affliction disturbs the mind stream. What's the mind stream?
Mind stream, I'm just mind. It's disturbing to mind.
So, but why does it say stream? Why does it say
Okay,
mind?
wait. You're thinking the definition of mental affliction, right? I will come there.
Okay.
I will come there. So, okay. So, here, now understand, right? Two reasons. Without mental affliction, no accumulate new karma. And even you have a hold that all karma, without mental affliction, is not produce any result of circular existence. The first result of circular existence is you are born. You are born. You are connecting in samsaric place, right? You are born. So how you born is very much related with the mental afflictions. We say when you're close to die, if you have a desire to some kind of human being, if you have a desire to some kind of pure land, that's help you to rebirth there. The desire is one kind of mental affliction there. And when you getting into the mother womb, again, the woman is attaching to fathers. If you become as a woman, that is attaching to fathers. If you become as like a man, is attaching to the mothers. That's again, there's two attaching. Then you comes in the mother wombs. That that most of the things, our attachment bringing here to there, and then connected to all the circular existing things. Therefore, lower tendency system are thinking the root of circular existence is desire. They're thinking that way because it's a lot of work. Main time, attachment is driven here to there.
But what happens when before you die, you don't have craving for existence? You don't wish, you don't have attachment for existence, you don't crave it. What happens? You are not born? You're not born again? Is that a quick way to solve the problem?
Yeah. It says, and automatically, right? And automatically at the end, you die, some kind of comes there. Maybe not necessarily craving. Sometimes angry is there. One emotion, one mental affliction is there, everything die. Sometimes anger is there, sometimes craving there. Even we say, okay, sometimes neutral mind there.
Yeah, what happens if you have a neutral mind? No craving, no attachment, nothing. You work on it, you find that, and before you die, neutral mind. No cravings, no attachment, nothing. What happens then? Once
the neutral mind comes, and then which karma is close to rises, it's ready for rises, that's rising. But this is not the real condition, let it rises, that next karma, right? But main here, when you're born, when you, when you're born, any kind of, when you take any kind of different form, more like born by mother wombs, it's always, attachment is there. That's we are not saying, if no attachment at the moment, we're not saying it, we're not accept it because this is the way automatically comes until we are in some select beings. But the dying is possible, could be neutral mind.
Okay. No. The best rebirth is in a human body? Is that the best rebirth?
Best regarding what? Best looking peaceful is not the best. The higher God realm is more peaceful there.
It's the best for which realm? The God realm.
God realms. God realms or like a form realms and formless realms are more peaceful than human beings.
Right,
if regarding that peaceful, I will say they are best.
But God realms and formless realms, they cannot reach Buddhahood.
Of course, they do. They are sentient beings.
They can?
Yeah, that's what we think. Every single sentient being has a Buddha nature. Definitely they can reach. They have a potential to reaching Buddha nature. But when? We don't know. Right? When? So as well as taking as a formless realm, can I achieve Buddhahood with the form realms? With the formless realm, possible, but very less.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a text that talks about ways of thinking before you die, so you can influence your rebirth. Because you can change your entire karma the moment before you die. If you think,
yeah.
So is there any text that I can read that talks about it, like the different ways of influencing your rebirth before you die by the way you think?
It depends on what you think.
Okay, but where can I read about it?
Oh, okay. You don't need to read book, you practice it.
I can die tomorrow.
You just practice Lamrim, Just practice Lamrim is really enough help you to, change your karma when you die. Lamrim is enough. They are not like an individual. Okay, these things. If we that I will run after that.
Okay, but well, I'm sure you read it. Did you read it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to read it too.
Lamrim. Lamrim is good. Okay, so.
But what propels, if you have a neutral mind when you die, then what affliction is it that propels the karma that causes you to do?
When the die is not. When you die, it's not necessary have to be afflictions. When you're born, necessary afflictions there. That's the connected. But the die is nothing afflictions there, right? Yeah. So that was we say Kewe Siva Nimoche. Kewe Siva Nimoche means what is the circular existence born has to be comes by afflictions. But Chisi, it means dying, that thing is not necessary. But the many times also the dying, the mental afflictions also change. Desire changes to your some karma, angry changes, neutral minds, nothing changes, but it's popped up, which is like which is nearest karma, which is like almost happening karma. It's popped up, even like not mental afflictions there, right?
See, what you said before is very important. That, you have to go step by step, take your time, don't jump to step number 10, go slowly, take it down. That's very important, that's very true. But, in the United States they say, I can walk and chew gum at the same time. I can walk and chew gum. I don't have to stop and chew the gum. Okay? So, there is true, what you say is true, but it's not the ultimate truth. Because I should be able to go step by step, I'm walking step by step.
Okay, here.
And then I can chew them by
that's we have to make same page. I said step by step for what? Enlightenment.
Right.
That's the said. If you want to achieve enlightenment, that's step by step.
Okay.
And many things, yes, they are like connected with what your goal. That's step by step. If you do not have any goal, then you can jump here and there, no problem.
I agree with you.
Yeah. Okay.
I know it's connected to what I said the other day. That the enlightenment is different than Buddha.
One last question, okay.
Is enlightenment different than Buddhahood?
No.
Is one and the same?
Exactly the same. Better way to say fully enlightenment. Okay, fully enlightenment, because the English words is a little bit confused when translated. When it's a fully enlightenment, exactly the same as Buddhahood. Then some nirvana is part of kind of like enlightenment, but we not call it Buddhahood.
Oh, I see. So you call it enlightenment, Buddha, nirvana is not enlightenment.
Yeah. Fully enlightenment, that's the better things. Okay, so that's now. Two cause, mental affliction and karma. Within these two, mental affliction is more important or more primary. That's what we need to know. And then Lama Tsongkhapa will explain it that even mental affliction, which is the main source, right? That's the whole target. But that's things, the governing cause and then conditional cause. And then within these two, affliction is primary. Okay, so keeps in your mind. That's the point. And then what? Even though you have accumulated immeasurable karma in the past, there will be no spurt of suffering because the karma lacks in necessary cooperating condition. A further reason afflictions are primary is because even without previously accumulated karma, it says clear here, if afflictions are present, you immediately accumulate new karma and thereby appropriate aggregate in the future. Similarly, Dharmakirti commentary on the compendium violet cognitions. The karma of one who has transcended, right, craving for existence, lacks the potency to project another birth because its cooperating conditions are gone. Okay, so
One quick question.
Okay.
So does this mean that once afflictions are destroyed, you have pretty much, that's a way to purify your past karma? Is that the gist? It's purified your past karma?
Yes, it is. It is. Sometimes it's complicated. Some texts say when you become an arhat, it's totally clear mental afflictions, right? Totally eliminate mental afflictions, become arhat. But the leftover karmas there, leftover karma. Sometimes leftover karma cause them have result. Sometimes not. You know, that's difficult to say just yes or no, right? Exactly. But when you, the leftover, I think it's depends on how much strong that leftover karma is remaining it. That leftover karma remaining as like your heavy years, like kill father and mother, that I think even our heart, that leftover karma affected you. And then if the lighter karma, so kill inside or this and that, will be gone after that. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, Janet, help me to read the next paragraph. Because the aggregate.
Okay. Because the aggregates will arise again if you have craving. Consequently, it is very important to rely on a remedy for the affliction. Moreover, since this requires understanding the affliction, you should become knowledgeable about the affliction. There are 4 parts to this. Okay.
So now you understand, right? You understand what this means. So, engage the antidote for that. It's saying, because that's the reason why we try to understand better affliction and why we try to understand it is cause of suffering, right? Okay, the first, identifying the afflictions. Again, we will read the line by line and then put you as a question, but I will not explain one by one. And then some are not really clear here, I try to make it clear, and then put in your questions. Okay, now identifying the afflictions. Janet, please.
Okay. The Sangha's Compendium of Knowledge gives a general definition of an affliction. An affliction is defined as a phenomenon that, when it arises, is disturbing in character and that, through arising, disturbs the mind stream. Thus, when it is produced, it disturbs the mind stream. Okay, so this is the definition of mental afflictions. It says, destroy, okay.
That's what I was asking before about mind stream.
Yeah, you asked me a little bit earlier. Now I can explain right now. Now time comes, right? So thus, when it is this is actually the definition of mental affliction. This is thus when it's produced, it disturbs the mind stream. Disturbing, that's what we need to think. Disturbing means not saying that always bringing you some kind of unpleasure, uncomfortable. It's not saying that. Disturbing to what? So disturb your mind. What is okay here? Some other text explaining individual what disturbing things is here. That mind it's disturbing to that the mind connected to the positive or right path. The mind connecting to positive and right path. And instead of connecting the positive and right path, it brings us wrong path again and again. That's the mental. That disturbing means like that, right? So the mind stream, it's continuing mind, which we build that right path. We need to build it, but it's disturbed to having that right path, and then it's doing opposite way. It's more bring us wrong path and negative. That's the mental afflictions. It's not really talking about feeling pleasure or unpleasure, right? So sometime in earlier, I explained that way. Okay, mental afflictions, disturb means here always, once you have it, you have uncomfortable. But, you know, the reading in many book, and then that's how I found it, is not really, it is. The disturbing is not that talking about pleasure or unpleasure things. It's disturbing that your mind making connected with the right path. How is it? Okay, I will tell you, then you make it better English, okay? So the mind disturbing toward the right path instead of toward the right path is like bring us wrong path and wrong thought and wrong view and negatives. How I can say it?
Disconnects you from the right path, or
throws you off. It's disturbing to the goal, and the goal is enlightenment. So it's
goal is too big word, I think. Yeah.
The path to enlightenment.
Like a stream, if you put rocks and things in the stream, it changes the way the water flows. Kind of.
Again, I go back to John. It's not really, if you say the enlightenment, but yes, mental level, it is disturbing, but when we explain, if you bring the disturb to your mind having enlightenment, you're missing some kind of other goal there, you know. So this is also possible that why we try to eliminate mental. Now, individually here, we try to freeing from suffering, and that's not really, it's nirvana, right?
Disturbing to the action.
Yeah, everything is connected, but when we give the definition, we have to give definition like which can be pulled here and here. So not like when we give individual definition here, then we cannot pull here. So that definition should be pervasive for all these characteristics of the mental afflictions.
A little more flexible.
Yeah, more flexible. That's we needed. So because it needs to be pervasive. The definition is not pervasive with what defining, then it's not God's definitions. So our definition always like that. Whenever we give definition, that definition should be pervasive with the character. Pervasive. The mental affliction is not the one, right? Mental affliction, there are a lot. And the definition should be pervasive for each single mental affliction. That's what we need to give it. And when it's enlightenment, then some point is not. You know, that's important. But therefore, Lama Tsongkhapa give very short. It's when it is produced, it's disturbing the mind stream. It pervades to every single mental afflictions, and then we can explain more and different way, right?
In Tibetan, when you read in the Tibetan text, okay, does the word disturb there in connection to the afflictions? Okay, is it different than the word disturb that he uses the word disturb in other places in the text? You understand my question? Because in Tibetan, does he use a different word for disturb?
Yes, Tibetan uses a different word. Yes.
Uses a different word.
Yes.
So the person that translates this book kind of screwed up here because he uses the same word that he uses somewhere else with a different meaning.
No, when translate, need to think a lot. So when need to think a lot, because it's like a simple way to translate, maybe not say all this. When we translate, we try to have to say that all the behind the meanings. Right. One word has the informal meaning, behind meaning, there are a lot of meaning, right? Need to be picked up that kind of word which can cover as much as can. So therefore, I think they picked up the disturb. If you literally translate, it's a what is the opposite of peaceful? Peace. Unpeace? Not peace?
Turmoil?
How we say peace? The
Turmoil?
opposite of peace.
Turmoil? Turmoil. Chaos, turmoil?
A lot of words.
Chaos, right? Yeah.
Okay, so translate from
It's a semgyu mashivar jeva. In the Tibetan say semgyu. Semgyu is continuum of mind. Mashiva is like a la.
disturb lan chibare.
Disturb Mashiva na.
Mashiva lan ta shiva mewa la woro.
Yeah.
Shiva mewa peace mewa. No
A peace mewa shiva chibare. Okay, then Kamala saying is like a disturb. It's opposite of peace. Mashiva jeva. Mashiva jeva. This is the Tibetan word. Okay, so anyhow, we have to know here what means disturbing, right? Is that clear with you? Disturbing, right? So have to bring better, disturb to that, and then bring opposite one.
It's like interferes.
Interferes, yeah.
It gets in the way.
Pulls in the wrong direction.
Oh, okay. That's the thing. That mind stream brings mind stream as like a more negative and wrong path. Then wrong actions comes. Then it created karma. Then circling. That's
so
the suffering.
The stream in the right path. That's mind stream. The stream of the mind on the right path.
Yeah, it is. But they're disturbing it, right? Yes. And then it's not only that disturb, it's bring opposite one also.
Right.
It's not says here, but it's not only disturb, but it's built, it produce opposite one, right? That's the definition of mental afflictions. And
but the mind moving in the wrong direction, like in the direction caused by mental afflictions. Is that still the mind stream?
Directions cause...
If the mind is moving in, like...
wrong directions?
Yeah, like hostility.
Okay.
Is that still the mind stream moving toward and through hostility? In other words, is mind stream just the mind moving in the direction of enlightenment? Or is it...
okay.
You understand the question?
Kind of like a yes.
The question is, mind stream is only for good, on the good path, or you can have mind stream when you are on a bad path, on the wrong path?
Okay. I think that mind stream should be a good path, connected with a good path. And then disturbing it to have continuous. And then, earlier we read some kind of like a, not capable mind, right? The capable mind. Some minds are not capable because it's not, I cannot control it. It's not try to brings to me some kind of like a good things. That's, I think, some word there in earlier. So we talked on that. Whatever here, the mind stream is which is mind toward more positive and right path, and disturbing it and bringing opposite one.
The term producing for a mind on the wrong path, the same way mind stream is for a mind in the good path. Is there a term?
No, because
mind on the wrong path?
Is there? Yes, yeah, of course. Our mind is always go with the wrong path.
Okay, so just mind on the wrong is the mind on the wrong path.
Mind on the wrong path, yeah.
Mind is the mind on the wrong path.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, there are a lot of mind on the wrong path because mental afflictions there.
Right.
Yeah. So that's what we tried, right? That's the mental affliction produce it. Okay. So now here, then page 299, the specific definition of the afflictions are follows. Lama Tsongkhapa here described the only 10 different afflictions, which are the root of mental afflictions, and also the another text all other texts describe the 20 secondary mental afflictions, and more than 27. Some texts explain more than 20 secondary mental afflictions, but the Abhidhamma Kosha and Abhidhamma Samuchaya both explain that 20 secondary mental afflictions, which is not counted here, which is not mentioning here. So only mentioning here, it's a 10 mental afflictions. The 10 mental afflictions, why? Because these are the root. And then another way to the 10 mental afflictions, why? Because these 10 mental afflictions are very difficult to recognize when it arises. And then it continues arises all the other mental afflictions. It's caused to continuum arises and increase the other all mental afflictions. So therefore, picked up the 10 mental afflictions. Usually we say 6 root mental afflictions, isn't it? We said it. 6 root mental affliction and 10 root mental affliction not separate, because the below 5 count as 1 and then 6. Generally, you should remember we talk on that. Yeah. So here, therefore, it's not really conflict. Okay. So sometimes many times we say, how many root mental afflictions? 6 root mental afflictions. When we say 6 root mental afflictions, the last 5 count as 1. That's called wrong view. When we say wrong view, divide it as a 5, or put it all one category, wrong view. This is how becoming. So, and then Lama Tsongkhapa, this is exactly described in Vasubandhu's the text 5 skandhas, commentary of 5 skandha, and then also the Asanga text, Abhidhamma Samuchaya. So talks at that, make it like a 10 root, right? But many other, like I say, 6 or whatever, we'll explain one. These are reading one by one, but so read this whole paragraph up to 9, then see what you have a question. Okay, Janet, help me to read it.
Okay, you want me to just read all of them?
Yeah, read up to 6, then see.
Okay.
Yeah.
1. Attachment. Attachment means noticing a pleasant or attractive external or internal object and desiring it. When attachment clings to its object and grows stronger, it is hard to tear yourself away from the object, just as it is difficult to remove oil which is soaked into a cloth. 2. Hostility means observing origins of suffering, such as living beings, pain, weapons, or thorns, and giving rise to a harsh, tormented mind that contemplates harming these objects. 3. Pride. Pride means observing, either internally or externally, qualities that are high, low, good, or bad, and based on the reifying view of the perishing aggregates, allowing your mind to become inflated. You assume an aspect of superiority. 4. Ignorance. Ignorance means possessing the affliction of misunderstanding on account of a mind that is unclear about the nature of the 4 truths, karma and its effects, and the 3 jewels. 5. Doubt. Doubt means considering those 3, the 4 truths, karma and its effects, and the 3 jewels, and being uncertain whether they exist or are real. Okay, maybe it's there up to 5. This is the 5, and then 6 other are just wrong view, right? I'll add here the attachment. Yeah, important things that repeating. It says attachment is difficult to remove, very difficult to remove. It's way difficult to remove than other mental relations, right? Like the angry, right? And pride, and doubt. What else here? And then reviewing view, and this all view, and then also they say hostility manners, observing an originals. Hostility. It's like a aversion, right? Hostility
Yeah.
is like
That's not the
hatred.
Hatred. Okay, this is easier for me. Hatred.
Yeah.
These are that easier than attachment to remove it. Attachment is, this is the perfect example, or very much like this example, removing oil from pepper. Until it tears the pepper, we do nothing, right? So, but the dust in pepper, easy. So that's a giving example. That's one thing important now. You should more reflect again on that. It's difficult. And another thing to say that attachment means noticing pleasant or attractive external or internal object. That is necessary. Every attachment is necessary, observed on pleasure or attractive external or internal. It's necessary. Sometimes we do have an attachment like we observe on suffering and desiring that freeing from that suffering. This is also attachment, right? So that attachment is not always the observing on pleasure things. But when we give definition, it says that, observing on the pleasure things, ecstatic things, and then what's the aspects here saying is internal object and desiring it. So that desiring actually most of the time we think it need to be pleasure and attractive. That desiring, right? But some desiring connected with the suffering. Do you see that? Right? So I'm desiring freeing from suffering. But this is different than renunciation. I'm not talking renunciation, right? In generally, we do have that making many friends is like brings more suffering, right? I'm more desiring that less friends, not make more friends. This is attachment, part of attachment, which is you are attaching to having less friends because of you see the suffering, right? So this is that observation of is not pleasure and attractive, but still it counts as attachment. But the most of the time, attachment is observed on pleasure and attractive things. That's different. You should know.
But then it's almost impossible to eliminate attachment because you also have desire to get to acquire Buddhahood. That's a desire.
That's I'm going to explain later. This is different. This is one thing. We should make separate. It says pleasure and attractive is not necessary. Pleasure and attractive, and one master is explained here. It says here. It's saying any attachment is necessary to observe on attracting, but it's not necessary observe an object of attracting. You see that's different?
Say that again.
Any attachment is necessary observe an attractive and pleasures, but not necessary observe an attractive and pleasure object. Right? So here, suffering is the observation object, which you don't like it. But after that, the pleasure is less friend. Having less friend is pleasure. But still you are observing on pleasure, isn't it? It says noticing. Yeah, still you're noticing pleasure and attractive. But when the observation object is suffering, you see this two different? Yeah. What I try to say, the definition is not totally wrong. We will keep that still definition same. The main notice a pleasant or attractive external or internal object and desire. I will keep that definition as continuously. But some desire there, they're looking at the observed, observing on suffering, then desiring to freeing from that kind of suffering. But as I said, it's different than renunciation. I'm not talking renunciation, yes. So I'm just talking in general, as we are human beings, we do have that kind of desire. Give an example. I don't know if that's the example or not, but saying that this is the one example. I found it. So you are having less friends, or this, you're noticing like it's pleasure. Having less friends is noticing as a pleasure. But when you observe, you're observing previous suffering. Having a lot of friends is, you know, and then you desire to less suffering. Right? So observation object, that's something. Observation object could be suffering. But when you notice it, always pleasure and attractive there. Okay, whatever. I just put it at seed. I don't know. I can complete it. Yeah, I will go first with him and then come to you.
But isn't the desire for the freedom of it, which is a pleasant thing?
What's that? Freedom means nirvana. Talking you that?
Well, you're saying that you're taking the suffering as the object. Well, I see the suffering as the cause, and the object that you're desiring is the freedom from the suffering, which is...
No, you observing. I'm not talking as a cause. It is cause, actually. Observation of any single observation object is cause of that mind.
Right, but you're saying that you're desiring that something that is suffering. You're trying to say that...
yeah, I'm not saying desire on suffering.
Well, you're saying that you can be attached to something that is not pleasant or attractive. That's what you're using the suffering.
Let me say it again, and then I try. I don't know how much I can clear it. So here, your previous suffering, okay, which is having. Let's give you another example. What is that? What is that? No. Don't go there. Don't go there. So it's attachment. Stay with attachment. Like, sorry.
Could an example be like you have cancer, for example, and so you're so absorbed on wanting to be absent from cancer, you're absorbed.
No, they're still suffering there. They are not noticing as like a pleasure things, attractive things, right? The cancer. So I'll go back that same example which comes in my mind. So you observing the previous suffering that having many friends. You observing on that. And then the wish comes, I have less friends. But it cause means like any observation object is cause, I said it. All observation object is cause. Okay? Cause of that consciousness. So that is cause. Then after that, I wish I'm going to try to have less friends. It's more pleasure. Observe that and brings you that wish to other pleasures and less friends. It's desire. But when your desire arises that kind of less friend, before that you observed on suffering. But it is cause, as you said, it is cause. But the cause is not different than observation object. Observation object, every single observation object is cause of that consciousness. Yeah, okay. Well, it doesn't matter. Okay, just leave it this. I just brings you some kind of like awareness, but keep that definition. I'm not changing this definition. Okay, I'm keeping this definition, and based on this definition, some possible there, but still refer to this definition. I try to say that. What would you like to say, Richard?
It was the same. The object could be the freedom from suffering instead of the suffering. Just because you observe the suffering, the object could be freedom of suffering, in which case it would still meet this definition.
The freedom in suffering is not the object, it's aspect. It's aspect. Yeah. The mind observing observing on the suffering, and then thinking, freeing from that kind of suffering. This aspect, not the observation object. John, you like to say something?
I was just wondering if the same thing, but if the aspect can become the observational object.
Observation can.
If the aspect can then like become the object of observation.
Not the same consciousness. It's possible, not the same consciousness. My consciousness is observing on book. That observing in the book. This is my observation, object. An aspect is reflected in my mind, that kind of book shape and color. This is the aspect, right? But some other mind can observe in that my aspect. That's possible. At the moment, that aspect becoming observation object for the other mind, but not the same consciousness, nothing same consciousness. So
you're explaining that because it says noticing a pleasant and attractive external or internal object of desire. So you're saying that you're kind of extending on the explanation by saying that you can arouse that attachment, but because you have an observation object that it's a negative, that it's a suffering that causes you suffering, and that was it creates the attachment of trying to avoid that suffering of having the many friends.
Yeah, I said that. Yeah. Oh, okay. So now here, attachment, aspiration, liking, wanting, right? And then faith, admiring. It's all different. Attachment. So therefore, every wanting, like a seeking, is sometimes people translate it desiring to enlighten. I'm seeking enlightenment for sake of other beings. The aspiration that I want it, right? So that people translate desire, but I don't know that much English. It's good to translate desire or not. As desire is always necessarily have to be attachment, then better not say it that way. Desiring to having achieved enlightenment, not using it. So therefore, use that. I have aspirations to attain enlightenment. It's a big difference than attachment. Attachment, you start, attached it. Don't want to be separate, right? But aspiration is not really touched on that, not really attacked on that, not necessarily always have to be pleasure on that, right? Attachment, desire, when having that desire and attachment, some kind of pleasure there, right? But when we have aspiration, not necessarily always pleasure there, right? I'm seeking enlightenment. I'm having aspiration to enlightenment. At the moment I'm seeking that, I have an aspiration. That aspiration could be brings me suffering. Sat here, seeing sentient beings suffering, and then seeing that enlightenment is way far from me. But it's like a huge. I need to build a lot of cause and condition. That's all associated with that aspiration. That aspiration is not that simple that I desire it. That aspiration is very much wisdom aspiration, like the same as like admire and faith. Which is
seeking okay though?
Seeking, yes.
Seeking is okay.
Seeking is okay. Seeking is not necessarily always like a desire, right? So therefore, it's different. Wanting, liking, aspiration, and then seeking are not necessarily desire and attachment. Attachment has wanting, liking, aspiration. But every single aspiration and then wanting, liking is not necessarily desire. Because every aspiration is not stopped. Not makes you difficult to when it becomes separate. Every wanting, liking is not. So therefore not. Attachment is always there. It's really difficult to making separate, remove it, separate, right? But having desire to seeking enlightenment, it's more with the reasoning, not emotionally. So that's, if something obstacle come, you will not like so sad, right? So some obstacle come, and then you try to think. It's because this is kind of like a wisdom. That is part of the attachment. Have to make like understand separate.
Can you create consciousness without an observation object?
We can create it.
Consciousness without an observation object?
Create consciousness, I don't know. We can have consciousness without observation. When we sleep, my eyes is closed, no dream, consciousness is there, not observing in any object.
But can you have consciousness when you are up without an observation object? When you are awake?
Yeah.
You have consciousness without an observation object?
When you wake.
Can you think of an example of having consciousness when you are awake without an observation?
Difficult to find it. Sometimes people say like people kind of unconscious, right? They wake up but not really wake up. They open eyes, they're looking here, but just stuck, something like that. What do you call it? Like a one kind of illness is there. It's when you become a senior, it's called what called? Dementia. Dementia is possible.
When you fall asleep, narcolepsy?
No.
But when you meditate,
definitely thinking. Meditate, definitely thinking. Even thoughtless is thinking. Yeah, that's meditating is always observation object there.
Right.
Because you think. Whenever you think, observation object there, aspect there.
But if you don't think, if you can meditate...
That's the difficult to find the mind when you wake up, not thinking. I don't know. So just, you notice in your lifetime and bring an example. Okay, then, I couldn't find these things, yeah.
Going back to what you were talking about, the desire and attachment, the difference. So
no, desire attachment is same. If it is same, then I don't like to use desire to seeking enlightenment.
Right, because then in that case, desire is not disturbing the mind stream because it's helping. Desire, seeking enlightenment. So
it is not.
Going back,
okay, my first question here. Is desire necessary attachment?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess so.
Then no desire to seeking enlightenment.
You say don't use the word desire.
Oh, is that word, okay.
Because desire has a connotation of pleasure.
Got it.
Pleasure.
Okay.
While aspiration and seeking don't have that connotation of pleasure.
So those don't disturb the mind.
So your example of having a lot of friends and then wanting to have less friends. The connotation of having friends has attachment built into it, and the connotation of having less friends has an attachment into it because it's, depending on what the purpose is. So having friends for the purpose of, the purpose, loosens that connotation of having friends.
No, what he's saying is the opposite. He's saying the desire of having less friends because you see having a lot of friends causing you suffering.
Right.
Yeah, yes.
Then the attachment is wanting to have less friends.
Right. No, I get that.
Yeah.
But it still kind of begs the question of lots of friends, less friends.
Opposite could be. We are not going that kind of thing. I'm giving example. This is possible, but opposite could be.
Well,
right?
What he's saying maybe that you can be attached to two opposite things.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Yes.
Somebody you get attached, such a pain in the neck, you want less friends, you're attached.
Opposite, yes.
Like you have a split.
You have more desire to have more friends than less friends. That's definitely happening. Have desire on that. But I'm taking example of one individual things and then understand that things, right? So, John, would you like to say something? Please? Okay. So, now here, this is the attachment part I need to clear, and then hatred or like aversion. Actually, yes, that's how I feel it. We need to take separate class for understanding even this 10, because just giving definition and then not how many different types of, like the pride, 7 different type of pride there, and then attachment as well, and then doubt, 2.
What about aversion? Which one? How come there's no aversion?
I think second one is like talking about hatred.
The hostility is aversion?
Yeah.
Yeah, second one is, yeah.
With it, you want to
It says hostility means, yeah, I don't know that. Hostility, it's hostility and hatred are same?
Well, hatred is stronger.
Yeah, this is hatred, not the hostility then. The strongest one. Because it's root mental affliction.
Okay.
Yeah.
It makes you think about harming.
But can you, aversion is not a root,
I don't know English word, right?
aversion?
But we Tibetans say control. Control is you have anger deeply from inside and hold it, not hold, you are holding it long.
But what if you dislike something very much? Aversion is when you dislike, you don't like, no like, you don't like something very much, you don't like something.
Don't like is not necessary to bring anger there, not necessarily hatred there.
Right.
But this part is hatred.
So if there's no hatred, it's not the root mental affliction. If you dislike something very much, it's not a root mental affliction.
No mental affliction, not necessary mental afflictions.
Not
necessary. So second part, I like to say hatred, because many translators say hatred. Okay, hatred is the second one. I don't know hostility, but you should know better English. But I like to say hatred. So that the one, and pride as well. Then do you have any question? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
6. Talk about 6. Can you explain 6?
Oh, sorry, 6 is not yet read it yet. Sorry, the 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so then we'll go continues from 6. Janet, help me, please. Read after 10.
Up to 10, okay. 6.
Yeah.
The reifying view of the perishing aggregates is an afflictive intelligence that observes the appropriated aggregates and regards them as I or mine, that is, as the self or that which belongs to the self. Here, since perishing means impermanence and aggregates is plural, the terms indicate that what are apprehended are simply impermanent and multiple phenomena. There is no permanent and unitary person. This is why it is called the view of the perishing aggregates. Then 7, an extremist view.
Oh, yeah. You up to 10, yeah.
Is an afflictive intelligence that observes the self as apprehended by the view of the perishing aggregates and regards that self either as permanent and eternal or as subject to annihilation in such a way that there will be no rebirth from this life into a future life. 8. A belief in the supremacy of wrong views is an afflictive intelligence that observes one of the 3 views, the view of the perishing aggregates, an extremist view, and a wrong view, along with the view holder's aggregates on the basis of which such a view occurs and regards such as supreme. 9. A belief in the supremacy of ethics and religious discipline is an afflictive intelligence which observes an ethical discipline that renounces faulty ethical discipline, or a religious discipline which requires certain forms of dress, manner, speech, and physical behavior, as well as the mental and physical aggregates, on the basis of which these forms of ethics and asceticism occur, and regards them as cleansing you of sin, freeing you from afflictions, and removing you from cyclic existence. 10. Wrong view is an afflictive intelligence that denies the existence of things such as past and future lives, or karma and its effects, or that believes that the cause of living beings is a divine creator or a primal essence, etc.
Okay, so now what? Do you have any question on that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Talk about number 6.
Number 6, okay. Number 6 is, it says here the refining, right? Reifying view of perishing aggregate. Perishing aggregate, that means like another way to say we call it is like self-grasping, okay.
What?
Another way to say self-grasping. Self.
Sanction aggregate is another way of saying self.
Self-grasping, yeah. Self-grasping. Yeah. So, again, the perishing aggregate, it's like you, again, go to observation. You're observing on your 5 aggregate and thinking I is different than this. Thinking I is controlling it. This is the 6th one. Got it?
You think that the I is in control.
In control of 5 aggregate.
So basically this is the no self, no self.
Not really say no self, but no self
The
how
lack
we...
of no self. Yeah. Number 6 is the lack of no self-understanding.
Yeah.
Lack means
It's confusing word.
you don't understand no self. When you don't understand no
The
self,
first word is no self. It's confusing. We have to clarify that. No self is not really saying no self. Right? That's we need to know.
No permanent self.
Right. So the no self is not saying no self how we think. But yes, self is exists. When we say no self, what means no? This is different. No means self is not independent. Self is not separate than 5 aggregate. Self is not owner of 5 aggregate. Not, no. That's what we have to repair it. Otherwise, no self goes to nihilism is danger.
right.
Yeah, because the self is there. Yeah. Then, based on that, you can say no self. Otherwise, in your mind, no self go to more nihilism and saying no self is a big mistake then.
Right.
Yeah. As well as you have a perfect definition, if no self, then you can use the word no self. This is perfect then.
What do they use in Tibetan for no self? What's the word in Tibetan?
Dharme. Dharme.
Ba-me.
D-A-K-M-E-D. Dharme.
So how would you translate Dharme? If you were to translate Dharme,
That's no self.
no self.
No self. Yeah. Da is self, me is no. Right? Then say no self. So, but that is important. Yeah, when you say no, what means no? It's important to know it. Yeah. Okay, this is the word making confuse us when it's no self. Okay, I just made it like important. I think it. This is the 6th one. Besides that, if you have any questions on this, like other 5. Okay, then I have a question for you then.
Just to be clear, maybe I'm the only one in the room that doesn't understand the definition of the 4 truths. Are the 4 truths the impermanence?
Oh, you mean regarding wrong view? Wrong view?
Regarding number 5, doubt.
Oh.
Doubt, it says, just to clarify.
Number 5, okay, doubt, yeah, huh?
Doubt needs considering those 3, the 4 truths, karma and its effects, and the 3 jewels. The 4 truths, what are the 4 truths? The
4 noble truths. 4 noble truths.
Oh, okay.
4 noble. Again, these are the examples given by Buddhist. But doubt, which is mental reflection part, is not necessary you have doubt on these things. Also, you can doubt other things. You have a doubt mainly on reality things, right? So this Buddhists give 4 noble truths, 3 jewels, whatever they give is example, right? And then every single doubt is not wrong again. Every single doubt is not the mental reflections. Therefore, we have to make different. The part of mental reflection, the doubt part of mental reflections. And because look at the definition again. Produce is disturbing, what say? When it's produced, disturbing to stream, mind stream. Every single doubt not disturbing it.
So what about attachment? Can you give an example? I mean, is every single attachment an affliction?
It's totally mental affliction.
Okay, so
totally mental affliction.
So really
yeah, I just picked up the doubt. And other things, yes, totally afflictions, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying something about doubt, but so what is the antidote to attachment?
Okay. Antidote for attachment is impermanent. Yeah. So here, the doubt, which is right path, which is not disturbing us, saying, say, okay, let's say this book is maybe impermanent. Still doubt, isn't it? The doubt told to positive, doubt told to right things, maybe impermanent. If you say this book, permanent or impermanent, that's where you're beginning to investigate it. And finally you say, okay, maybe it's permanent. That affection's doubt go more toward to the negative, which is disturbing to mind stream. And then doubt is thinking maybe impermanent. It's because you're told to reality that's not disturbed to you. That brings you better understand. So that is still doubt. It's say maybe impermanent. And then some doubt there is nothing disturbing anything, like say, I can eat or not. You have a doubt, I should eat right now or not. That doubt is really afflictions?
No.
Not necessary. So, right? But you know, the affliction doubt, you have a doubt on big things, right? You have a doubt on reality things, right? This is the mental affliction part of it. Therefore, yes, I have to make two different types of doubt. This is, yeah, thank you for remind me this.
Besides impermanence being an antidote for attachment, right? You just said impermanence is an antidote for attachment.
Yes, yes.
Can dependent origination, the connected
yes,
also is an
yes, yes.
No self is also an antidote.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Okay. So then I have a question for you. Here at the beginning, say like where is it? The belief in the supreme of wrong view in where is it?
Okay.
Let me read this. Okay. 7. An extremist, right? View in an affective intelligence that observe the self as apprehended by the view of pressing aggregate and regarding that self either as permanent and internal or subject in inhalations in such way that there will be rebirth from life into future life. No rebirth. Okay. Let me read the Tibetan one. It's better understand for me. So yeah, here extremist view thinks two things, right? One extremist thinking is it's permanent, or another is nihilism, right? So here the view which is thinking nihilism, and then 10th one which is wrong view. What is different between these two? Wrong view is thinking again is non-exist. No future life, previous life, right? No karma, and then nothing cause and effect. All this kind of goes to nihilism. Wrong view.
It talks about divine creator. Number
10. I'm taking the part that thinking nihilism. Yeah. Is there something there?
So wrong view could also still think like permanent, like eternal.
Sean?
Yes.
First, we have to clear that my question is, let me see, it says, wrong view is afflictive intelligence that denies the existing things. And then the 7th one is, again, denies some kind of things. It's like a more nihilism, right? No more rebirth, it's nihilism. No self, it's nihilism. So yeah, these two, you understand, right? This is the question now. Okay, now what's your answer, Sean?
So you're asking what's the difference between the extreme view of nihilism and the wrong view that denies the existence of.
Yeah, yes.
So the wrong view could be thinking the eternalist extreme view, couldn't it?
No. Stay with the one side. I'm not take everything. They're both sides there. Even like a 7, they have a external there. It's internalism there. But taking one side, both are denying, both are nihilism. These two is different one. Otherwise, if you said the 10-1 it could be, as 7-1 could be. There are two things there.
So
you understand, right?
We're comparing number 7 to number 10.
Yes. But number 7 say two things. Two extreme, right? I'm taking nihilism part,
right?
And wrong view also take the denies things. These two, I'm taking it. Why you repeat it? Is this repeating or is different?
What, in 7?
In 7,
In 10 though, it includes the past.
So are you asking it's just
it
only
is different.
the one aspect of 7?
Yeah, yes, one aspect of this, yeah, the 6, 7, and 10, which is both thinking nihilism.
See, that's one difference I see is that with just, if I look at wrong view, that could be one or the other of 7. Whereas here you're asking just that one in 7. So if it's a nihilist view that there's nothing afterwards, there's no reason for morality, right? Because there's not going to be any consequences after this life. That could fit into wrong view. But what if the wrong view thinks, well, I think that there is consequences because I want to go to heaven and this self is going to be permanent.
Yeah, I understand.
Right.
But how you can make different than 7?
Because it seems 7 is saying one or the other.
So there's
yeah.
That's very difficult to put into words.
Isn't the number 7 exactly what the middle way school is? That's the definition of the middle way school. Number 7.
No. Middle way school is here is like one type of extreme is saying permanent. Middle way school is not saying permanent.
So that's the thing. So it's saying you should not be extremist. That is the middle way school. So you should not be nihilism or absolutism.
Absolutism. But the way here explain the two, what the true extreme is different. But otherwise, just term, yes, true. Now, then middle way said you're not of the true extreme. Yeah. But what is the true extreme is different here. Here's true. What is the true extreme? Here it's saying inhalations, right? Inhalation stream is talking that permanent, isn't it? Thinking that self is permanent. What is that? Annihilation means.
That's the opposite. Like
no, annihilations, right?
It's all gone.
It's all gone. Okay. What is the other stream there? Oh, yeah. Okay. Regard the self either as permanent and internal. Yeah, internal and null. Okay. So here, internal talking permanent, right? But the middle way not say the permanent. Yeah. So, but otherwise then, the internal it's so permanent. That part is I'm not talking. It's leave it there. But the other side is saying, or as object inhalation, such as a way that there will be no rebirth, and wrong view say no previous life, future life. What is different these two? That's my question.
One possible difference is both 7 and 10 are saying there's no future life, but 7 is referring to self. It's looking at the I, self, and saying there is no future, that's nihilism, for me in the future next life. 10 is looking at everything, all conditions, not just
I like your answer. Yes.
So that's a different view.
Okay. You see that? I understand.
Because the person with an extreme view of either eternalism or nihilism would have no reason to consider whether or not there's karma, cause and effect, and four truths, and the three jewels. Why would they even consider that if they have that extreme view?
Well, more importantly, it's not an affliction in that, they would have the affliction of, it would be leading them in the incorrect mind stream direction. It would be a disturbance to the mind stream. You know?
There's no difference between that part of 7 and 10 wrong views.
If they are no different, why you repeat it?
Why repeat?
We need to be less book.
But
Let's pay attention. Why repeat it?
the wrong view encompasses.
Right? So here, it's repeating as like Richard said. That's I more agreed, because in 7, this all 6, 7, 8, 9 is talking about regarding self. The right, wrong view on self, and then self is nihilism. That's talking, and then wrong view is more than this. So different there. It is different there. So okay. So I have another question like this, but leave it. It's complicated. And
Geshe, can I ask you a quick question?
Of course.
It seems to me that all of the wrong views, all 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, are all based on 6, the perishable collection view. Is that right?
Yes.
So that the other ones are all the different ways that initial self-grasping can lead you in the wrong direction.
The other one is 10th one, right?
All the others. So based on the perishable collection view, there are different ways we could develop even more wrong view.
Of course.
So that's
all 5 are related with it.
Okay.
And a special 10th is talking more than this.
That's what it is, 22.
22,
There's also another, it's 22 root.
No, second mental reflections. 20 secondary. Oh, no, I cannot go. Even I cannot complete what we need to complete today.
No, I'm just saying, we don't have to do it now. There are 20 more secondary.
Even not the next class, okay? So taking separate time for this talks, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, just leave there then. In house. 1. Yeah, 2 more pages. 3 more. Okay. That's okay. Let's leave it. No hurry. Yeah, okay. So that's we finish up to page 300, part of mental reflections, and then someone can summary our today's class. What topics? Can you summary it? It doesn't matter. It could be wrong, could be more. It doesn't matter. It's not necessary to be always perfect. I'm not expecting that way. I'm not expecting that way. Even I'm not perfect. How I can expect you are perfect?
So I would say that first we talked. We had to identify the afflictions. Or we're talking about the origins of the afflictions, how the afflictions arise. So then 4 parts, but we only covered identifying the afflictions, and we still didn't get to the order in which they arise and causes and faults.
Oh yes. Okay.
So we're just talking about how the afflictions arise from that they're the primary cause even before karma, and karma is also a cause, but the afflictions are more like conditional cause, and karma is a governing cause. And then we talked about just identifying what definitions of attachment and hostility and pride and doubt, and got as far as
okay, each mental afflictions. Okay.
Yeah.
So and I think beside that, do you have any point what you learned today?
The disturbing is being...
Yeah, disturbing, yeah, that's also one part of important part. Disturbing means, yeah, okay. So this is, yes, that's our topic, and then I added the very beginning, part of setting up motivation, and also I added, which is not in a book, how to study and how to practice. The three things needed, right?
So the three things were to have a long-term goal, right? And to have, how did you say it in Tibetan? I think yigyaki, right?
Yigyaki, yes.
Like a brave mind and wide mind, so we could take in the entire path. And then the third one was to have a calm mind and go step by step.
Therefore, I'm telling you, become monk.
So I wrote down here, stay flexible. How's that?
That's good. Yeah, that's good. Okay, thank you very much. Very nice summary. Thank you. Makes me happy. And then go with the dedication. Sa shi pegi chukshin leto rirabling shi ninde yama tangje shingdo mebe ruwai gogu namda shingla chobar sho idama guru radna mende nuya daya mi. May the precious supreme bodhicitta arise in those in whom is not yet arisen, and where his arisen may not decrease, but ever increase more and more. Okay. So thank you. And then if you have urgent or busy, you can leave it. Otherwise, that rigid start the last three part of 10 non-virtues. That you want to know more about that, isn't it? Right? So earlier I said, if you are virgin, you can leave it. Otherwise, it's okay. Earlier I said, lots of 10 non-virtues are not the karma. I said it's not the karma. It is part of mental reflections. But why it counted? I didn't answer for that. Why it counted in 10 non-virtues? I didn't answer for that.
Oh, last week.
In the last week, yeah. So, and then he still have a doubt and not clear on that mind. Therefore, just try to saying it. So, but part of that, yes, in tenet, second tenet, Tantrika, Sutra school. Sutra school accept mental reflection and common of mental reflection is karma. Giving example of these three, they accept it is karma, but not others. So others saying these are mental reflections. These are mental reflections. That's why I say you can go back to look at what are the mental reflections. Have a Judy good night. What are the mental reflections? Then you can find these three in there. Mental reflections, part of mental reflections, right? And then before explain it is not karma, then we should really reflect it. If these three is karma, covetousness is karma, then I say attachment should be karma, anger should be karma, because not is the different. Then you says the covetousness is kind of like action. What action? If covetousness is action, attachment is action. Because attachment is attaching, desiring on something. That part of action you not counted as action, right? Are you counting as action? Attachment, desiring is like a wanting there, like a desiring, liking there, right?
So if attachment is affliction, that could be the cause for something that is not an affliction, that is an action. It could be an action of mind, and you could call that Jason calls it covetous.
Covetousness, yeah.
Coveting.
I am better than saying you covetousness.
But it seems that when Jason Kappa lists it as one of the 10 non-virtuous deeds or actions. He's listing it as an action, as if it was caused by the affliction of attachment. But
he really explained that way?
It became more than an affliction. It
no.
became something where you decided, I wish to have that automobile that my neighbor had.
Lama Tsongkhapa really explained that way, its action?
If I'm looking at page 224.
Okay, read for me. Where does it say its action?
Covetousness, the basis of covetousness, the basis of covetousness are the wealth or possessions of another. Of the three aspects of the attitude, the perception is perceiving the basis to be what it is. Right? The affliction is any of the three, so it could be attachment too. But the motivation is the desire to make the wealth or property. It implies the wealth or property of someone else your own, right? So it seems like the motivation is to take someone else's property or make it your own. The affliction might be attachment, but the actual, perception is perceiving the basis. So I think it becomes an action. It's no longer just the affliction. I think the affliction.
What really action said here? What part of action?
Well, the action
is covetousness itself or something else?
The thinking, may that become mine about the wealth.
The thinking
behind mind.
Yeah, so thinking is an action, right? I mean, you can have an action of mind. You don't need to have an action of body.
Every single mind is thinking.
Of course, that's action.
Then all is karma.
Actions of thought, word, or deed, right?
Every is karma.
Sorry?
Every single mind is karma or not? Because every single mind is thinking.
Well, if the difference between an affliction and an action is that, the action brings about karma, the affliction does not. It's the cause of the action that brings about karma, right?
Yeah.
Then you could think of the action of thinking, I want to make that object mine, right? The deciding to do that as an action of thought, versus the affliction is just a general condition of thought. It's not an action of thought, perhaps.
So that's what you think is defining covetousness.
I'm not sure. I'm just curious, because why would he list it as one of the 10?
That's the point. I didn't answer about that. Yes. Yeah. Why it's counted as 10 non-virtues?
Actions.
Yeah. No. Why it's counted as 10? I'm saying it's 10 non-virtue actions.
Or deeds. I don't
know. Yeah. Because here, why it's counted as 10 non-virtue actions? Because it leads some actions there. The covetousness leads some actions, and then wrong view leads some actions, as well as aversions lead some actions. Right? That part is karma, but itself is not karma. That's why I keep saying that. So what is the part of action? That's the thing. Way beginning, go back to the general, like a killing is action, right? What is the really negative karma of killing? And then that like animal is not the karma, right? And then the discrimination is not the karma, I said it. The discrimination is knowing it is what animal, not the karma. And attachment is not the karma, which is seeking meat, right? It's not the karma, I said it. And then what is karma? Intention of killing part is karma. And then action, killing, it is karma. Then completion is not the karma. So there are bases like attitude, actions, completion. And we are picking up what is the real karma on that. But every single is not the karma. But every single is cause of creating that karma, condition of having that karma. But itself is not called karma, right? So the real karma called is intention and actions. But the last three, they're not really physical action there. But intention, part of intention there, that's part of karma. But that comes from covetousness. That comes from wrong view. That comes from aversions. We just meant afflictions, as I said it. Therefore, not the part of the like a karma, it's mental affliction. That's what I'm saying. I'm choosing keep using logic because there are many books there which is describe same things. You know, not karma. It's part of mental afflictions, but not translated it, but not that much rely on what book said it, but more rely on logic. This is better. So then think, yeah. Any thinking is action, then you should say every single mind is action.
Not every thinking is action, but if the affliction is not got intention, the affliction just is always present because we're samsaric beings, then that
affliction is more always present means like how you say that you always say angry is present or not.
Well, I don't know about angry, but aversion perhaps.
It's one kind of affliction, right?
It's an affliction.
No, I'm picking up.
Present, but once you have the intention, perhaps I have the affliction of attachment, right? But once I have the intention, I want that hat, say Burke's hat, right? I really like his hat. Right? I say I want Burke's hat.
Is this bad karma?
An intention suddenly in my thought.
Okay.
Taking the hat.
Then you are counted as a karma, right? I want that hat.
Is that causing me karma by having that mental thought of, I think Jason Kappa calls it covetousness.
Covetousness.
Coveting that hat, that specific hat, that's caused by my affliction of attachment, right?
Okay.
To the hat, right?
Okay. If having intention like this, I want that hat.
Yeah.
You count it as a karma because you count it as the action.
Action of thought, right?
Your karma.
Of mind, action.
And non-virtue karma.
With intention.
Oh yeah, intention. I like it.
Yeah.
Right. I like it that then it is just non-virtue karma, right? Just liking it. It's nothing harms to you, nothing harms to others. Non-virtues should be some kind of brings you that resolve suffering, right? Just I want that hat. That thought, how can bring to me some kind of suffering? I do not see that. That much strong cause bring to me suffering. So I want your hat.
Plus, I have done Burke no harm by just wanting it.
Yeah.
Right?
So actually, what you're saying is more than attachment. It's more than attachment. Attachment is you just like it. Then you next intention, I want it.
Yeah.
Still, I do not see it like a negative karma. I want it.
If I want it, or if I
We are desiring can have that kind of mind, thousand mind. I want that. I want that. I want that.
Intention is more, I'm going to take it. That's more of an intention. And Lama Tsongkhapa clarified.
Yeah, that's what we said it. I'm more like I'm going to take it, right?
Yeah.
Not just I want that.
Then I'm
going to take it. That intention is karma. It's close to.
Lama Tsongkhapa actually clarifies on page 227 at the end of that section. He says, among these 10, intentions are actions, yet they are not paths of action. The 7 non-virtuous actions of body and speech are not only actions, but are also paths of action, because body and speech are the bases of the intended operation. The 3 mental non-virtues, covetousness and so on, are paths of action, but are not actions.
Okay, got it then.
So they're not karma?
Not karma, because not action is very clear here. Path of action,
I intend to steal it, but then I changed my mind to don't steal it. And I didn't create negative thoughts.
Right.
What if you wish somebody dead?
Yeah, let me finish with the John. What's that?
If I intend to take, if I like your robe, I intend to take it. I form that thought, but then I don't do anything.
Yeah, it's not really karma. It's not really karma. But you are strongly, whatever, that intention is that much strong, you're going to do it. You're stealing or you're robbing or you're going to do something. That much strong intention, that we count as karma because of danger. So, but not comes yet in action, but still karma. But just thinking, I want your hat, this is not just karma. It's,
can you repeat that? What comes by the intention? Just repeat that one more time.
The intention that much strong, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take it. Yeah.
Number 2, in hatred, what if you don't contemplate harming others, but you wish harm to others. You're not contemplating to hurt somebody.
Therefore, I said just having hatred is not karma. I'm keep saying all this mental reflection, just having is not karma. Just having anger is not karma.
Wishing somebody bad, I wish that this person would die.
So that depends on how strong it. That wishing also brings you that action. That may be karma.
But if it doesn't cause you action to act on it, it's not.
You always caution like this. If these all not human, what else human there?
No, I'm just following what you say. So if you wish bad to somebody, I wish this person should die.
Yes.
But you don't think.
Yeah, as I said, like your intention is really strong. That strong intention could be karma.
Still without action.
It still not comes as action. It's still not comes. Yeah.
So the thought
But at the next moment, very much possible you're going to take action.
Right, but before that moment of action, you created bad karma.
Yes.
So you created bad karma with an intent without action.
It's possible.
It's possible.
Yeah. Then here, so like say you are now killing some animal, right? Now you are perfecting everything. You strongly have an intention to kill, and you perfect everything, and then you come knife, and at the moment now you not kill it. The previous that strong intention is counted karma, but you not kill it, not the complete karma.
So it counteracts it when you.
Yeah, not the complete karma of killing.
So if you don't follow through with the action of the intention, then you're counteracting the karma that you could have.
Yeah, that's the thing. Anything karma comes out from like actions or verbal is completing or not completing. Completing has to become actions. But not completing still can be created karma until you have an intention. And immediately you change it. Right?
Sorry. If you have strong intention, it's karma, but it's not complete karma until you act on it.
Yes.
Okay, but if you wish somebody to die, I don't have any intention. I hope this SOB dies. I hope this person dies. He's a bad person. I hope he.
No. I'm repeating. You're repeating. I'm repeating here. I say strong. That much you're going to take actions.
But if I'm not.
But it's not complete. It's not complete karma, but some karma there. It's not complete karma because you not kill it.
But if I don't have any intention at all, I don't have any intention. No intention. I'm just wishing something on somebody. I have no intention. Is that karma?
No.
Okay.
So wait.
No.
I'd like to ask. So if there no such thing as a mental action, do all actions have to be?
I'm saying yes, there are mental actions.
Yeah.
Every single intentions are mental actions.
Oh, I'm sorry you said that because I want.
I'm saying it, right?
What if you take Roland's idea and you say, I hope my neighbor's crops fail this year?
Wishing.
Because I don't like it.
Yeah.
His crops would fail. And then I pray for his crops to fail. That's a mental action? No, that's a physical action.
That's physical action.
Praying.
That's physical action.
Why does wish the crops fail? Is that an action or not?
Just wishing. With difficult to say it's like a karma.
Just wishing.
Just wishing is difficult to say it's karma. It's not karma. Just wishing is not karma. Yeah, there are.
So there's no such thing as a mental action.
There's intention.
It's a mental action.
Wishing is intent.
Geshe, can I say something?
Of course, yeah. You're saying better things. Yeah.
So as we move forward in this chapter we're in now, after we discuss how the afflictions arise, then the next section, how we thereby accumulate karma that is intention, karma that is the intended action. So in that section, there's a definition from the compendium of knowledge that is given. What is intention? It is mental karma that involves the mind. It acts to engage the mind in virtuous, non-virtuous, and ethically neutral activities. Thus, intention is mental karma, a mental process that moves and urges the mind with which it is associated toward objects. That seems very clear.
So, but think that the Sean read it that philosophy are the path of karma by itself is not action.
Right.
He read the Lama Tsongkhapa book, right?
Yeah.
He read the not action. Path of action, not action.
Path of action, not action.
Yeah. But why he counted, that's separate answer. Yeah.
I think the debate here is, what is it? Is it karma or is it an affliction? I mean, the action of wanting to kill someone is actually deep-seated as an affliction at the end of the day. It's your affliction that is causing you to have that desire to kill someone.
Affliction causing, yes.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, whether it's an affliction or karma, from what we learned today, they are both the cause of suffering. So, I mean, almost it feels, it's like, is it really that important whether it's classified as an affliction or is it a karma, when they both, at the end of the day, are the cause of suffering? It's
important to classify because when people have anger, that's I'm repeating here, when people have anger, what they're doing is they're Vajrasattva purification practice, purifying anger, because they think this is the karma. It's totally wrong. If you want to purify anger, Vajrasattva purification practice not really help. You have to build the patience or compassion or love. People not doing it, people do, I'm doing Vajrasattva purification practice. I'm doing this practice because I have a strong anger. You are doing wrong. That's important to classify these things. Yeah. Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
No, but it's also important because karma has an effect on your future life. But an affliction without karma does not have an effect on your future life.
It's habit.
Yeah, but they both go hand in hand also. It's not.
I mean, they may be similar, but karma is the only thing that causes something in your future life. An affliction without karma.
If afflictions are present, you immediately accumulate new karma.
If you don't have an affliction, you don't have the karma. That's what
well, the affliction is the cause of karma.
Right,
so
so
you have the affliction, you realize.
Yeah, so anything that is an affliction is causing new karma.
Yeah, just continue.
천천히 기시라.
That's all.
이제 나와.